Hey, what's up, Jooba People? So welcome to the 8th lesson in this course, 8 out of 10 lessons. And today we're talking about listening to the bass sound. Now, the bass usually plays the root note of the chord. Okay, that's why this is important. What is the root note of a chord? If the chord is in A minor, then the bass note is A. If the chord is in F, then the bass note is F. If the chord is a D minor, the bass note is D. So it's where the chord gets its name from, okay? And usually the bass guitar plays that. Now, to listen to the bass is something that is usually not the hardest thing to do. It's harder than figuring out a simple melody because the bass is kind of hidden. It's like the lowest frequency and everything else is higher than that. And it's just like, well, usually it's not the lowest. Maybe the kick drum will be lower. But it's usually quite easy to figure out. Now, I'm going to show you quickly how you're doing it. So we're talking about the song Adore from the song from the band Adore called Front Door, and it starts with this whistle and then the guitar comes in. Now we're going to try to figure out those chords by listening to the bass, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first thing that we did when we what we need to do in our process is we need to first find the key. So while the song is playing, we kind of noodle around, go check the lesson on finding the key. And then we found the key of the song is C sharp. Now, obviously, playing in C sharp is very difficult with guitar. You have to play a lot of bar chords. So we're going to play in the key of C. But to make it a C sharp, we're just going to put our capo on the first fret. And that will take everything up one half step. Remember, we learned in the other lessons what a half step is. So we take it up one half step from C to C sharp. Now this C is a C sharp. So now I know the chords in the key of C. I figured out that from lesson number 7 and lesson number 5 that we learned how to find the chords for the key. So we found the chords for this key is, let's just write this down here, is C, F, and G. That's our 1, 4, and 5 chords. Okay, and our other most important chord is A minor. That's the 6. So A minor, F, G, and C. And then we're going to do D minor and E minor. Is going to be our 2 and 3 chords. Okay, but we're actually just going to focus on the bass now. So those are the chord names. Let's quickly see if we can figure out the song by listening to the bass. So here's the whistle starting. Boom. Wind's blowing. Da. So I try to kind of sing it, and then I play the root notes of all of the chords. So the A minor. And I can hear that sounds similar, but I'm going to go through the other root notes. Boom. Even while the song's playing, you can do this. It's definitely not an F. It's G, D, E minor. So remember, always first try your 6 basic chords, C, F, G, and A minor, and then you go to the 2 and the 3 chords, okay? But I've kind of, and you probably also heard that this... Okay, let's start the song again. So you see that first part, you can hear the bass. Let's try the chord. Cool. And then what you do once you figure out the first chord, then you start to hear where the second chord change is. So you keep listening until you've... Did you hear that? Ding, ding. It's not an F. Ding, ding. Ah, it's a C. Ding. Well, C sharp in this case, but... So let's try those chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, that was good. That was good. Did you hear that? It goes back there. So I can't sing that low bass, but I can kind of hear it in my head. It's not that one. Yeah. said. So I kind of just heard that it's going down, so it's playing an F, but then it's going down one semitone to E minor. You said. So when you're figuring out songs like this, you want to play and pause the whole time, and you don't want to just jump into the song. So what I'll do a lot is I'll play and then pause right. This is something somebody taught me on YouTube or somewhere a long time ago, was when you're transcribing something, play it until where you know, and then just play it like 1 second further, and then pause, and then figure out just that 1 second. Because what happens if you play it too long, your ear gets confused about what it's actually hearing, and then you just mess around. So you want to just stop after that chord. So you said, no, it's F you said. Let's try something else. You said. That sounds good, right? You said. So the moment you find a chord that you kind of think, well, this is. Just give me a second. You see what I'm doing? Do you see the process? And then I go back again. And I try to play with the original. You said. So the next chord was an A minor. Now I just instinctively went to that, but if I would be figuring it out, I would say, you said. You said. That's cool. Just believe as accepted. Now. It might get a little confusing at this point, right? So what I would do if I'm transposing a song like this, okay, I would actually write down how many chords I hear in the chorus. So let's say I'm listening to the chorus. Sorry, I just went back too far. So I'm going to say this is chorus. And I'm going to write down the first chord. So the first chord, there's another chord, there's another. And you can hear the bass line, right? And usually once I've written about 4 chords, then I'll try to figure it out. So then I would say, okay, the first chord I figured out was F, okay? So it just kind of gives you that is pretty unclear. Let's just give ourselves a little bit less light here so you guys can see what's written. So it just gives you like a framework to kind of put the chords in, because otherwise you kind of forget what you're doing and blah blah blah. So against what I stood for. Okay, so that was E minor. I just kind of luckily got right. So let's say you're doing a song like Take Me Home, Country Roads, and you want to play it in this key. You're just thinking about the song. Then start with a 1 chord. That's a good place to start. Country roads, take me home. So now you want to figure out the home chord, okay? Now, remember you first start with your 4 basic chords. C, F, G, and A minor. Okay, so a country road, take me home. Not quite nice. Let's try something else. Country road, take me home. Let's try G. Country road, take me home. Boom. You instantly can tell it's like kind of in the song, right? To a place. Now let's see. Country road, take me home to a place. This can work, but it's not quite the feeling. Let's try the A minor. Country road, take me home to a place. That sounds good, right? So you kind of, it's just trial and error, just trying. Now, what's going to happen is when you start thinking of the chords as numbers, That's going to be our next lesson, thinking of the chords as numbers, right? Then you're going to start to recognize the sound of the 1, the sound of the 4, the sound of the 5, the sound of the 6. So then when you're listening to a song and you're like, heard there was a secret chord. Once you have that sound in your head of what you're looking for, you can kind of tell, oh, that's an A minor there, you know? That's the 6. I heard there was a secret chord, the David played it, and please the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? Okay. Okay, so I think that's all for this lesson. Listen to the bass note. Try to sing the bass note if you're comfortable singing. If not, try to just play the bass notes of your guitar first so that you can easier distinguish. Because sometimes if you play the whole chord, you can't really hear it. So then just first try to get the chord with the bass notes. I heard there was a secret chord. I heard there was a secret chord. I heard there was a secret chord. Boom. Got it. Got it, man. Okay, that's it for this lesson. Have a nice day, guys. We'll be back soon with lesson number 9.